This is Renee, and welcome to my own little world. It's time for another sketchbook tour, and this sketchbook is from Ooly. I used the sketchbook during May till December 2019. It's my 5th sketchbook. It has different kinds of paper, so craft paper, white paper, black paper, and tan paper. It's a lot bigger than my other sketchbooks, and I wouldn't really recommend it, but that's probably because the pages tend to rip out, so I had to glue all of them down with tape. And also the paper is not that bad of a quality, but also not the best, so. But let's move on. I decided to make more than one sketch or more than one piece on the pages so I could save room, and also the pages were very big, as I said, and I wasn't used to working on that large of a space. So yeah, and this page is when I started Namjoon, and I really love that one. And for June 2019 I decided to draw Namjoon RM from BTS every day, and honestly it really helped me with trying to get better at drawing his face, and I really enjoyed it. And a lot of the paintings and sketches that I did for Namjoon I really ended up liking, so that's nice. And I also stuck in other pieces of paper, like you can see with the blue drawing that I made. That's obviously a different kind of paper that I just stuck in. And at this time I really like to use graphite with just a little touch of color. I really like that one. And these ones I think I drew when I was on vacation. I took my sketchbook with me during vacation, and shameless self-portrait on the left page, and the right page is still one of my favorites, all-time favorites that I did, and I really want to do a full page of J-Hope again. And hey, another self-portrait. And here's when I started to get more into drawing with ballpoint pens, and some of these I still really like till this day. And here's Namjoon as Groot for a collab that I did on Instagram. And let's not talk about this failed attempt at drawing with crayons, like bye. Another self-portrait. And on the left page you can see Julian Silamita. He's from YouTube. He's Jenna Marble's boyfriend. I really like the one on the right page, and I really like that I started getting used to drawing with colored pencils more instead of just using graphite. And another self-portrait. I don't know why I drew so much self-portraits, but hey. On the left page you can see Ayu. I drew her. I don't draw her a lot, but I think this is actually the first time that I drew her, or maybe the second time. And on the left page, this one is the one that I drew for Namjoon's birthday, and I really like it. It's still one of my favorites that I drew of him. And this is just a mess. This is how a sketchbook is supposed to look, in my opinion. Just doodles everywhere and just experimenting. And on the right page here, I started doing Inktober. That was the first time that I actually did do Inktober, because somehow I failed my first attempt and I gave up halfway, and this time I just stuck to the end and I drew every day, and I really like how some of these turned out. And this is when I didn't have any more of the white paper, so I had to draw everything on the black paper. And this is an upside and a downside to this sketchbook, in my opinion, because you're used to drawing on white paper, and once you're out of white paper, you just have to start at the other kinds of paper. And when I first bought this sketchbook, I was like, I thought that it would be nice. And there's another self-portrait, but but as I was saying, I expected it to be nice, but in the end I really ended up regretting buying this sketchbook. And yeah, I just stuck in old pieces that I drew when I was like 12 to 16 or stuff like that. So just to fill up some pages of the sketchbook, because I just didn't feel like using all the black paper or using all the tan paper or using all the graph paper. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't buy this kind of sketchbook again. I think it would be better for me to just buy a sketchbook with white paper and then just to stuck in other pieces of paper that I drew on, like pieces of black paper, pieces of tan paper, because this didn't work for me, unfortunately. But what I did really like about this sketchbook is that I customized the front cover, because the front cover used to look very much different. Here, as you can see, I just started randomly doodling recipes for smoothies just to fill out the pages, but yeah. But I really liked how the customized front cover of the sketchbook turned out, and it wasn't supposed to look like this. I mean, the front cover was very much different from how I customized it. And I was lucky I could customize it, because it was a struggle. At first I wanted to paint over it, but it made the cover look all bobbly and stuff. And so I stuck on some black paper and drew onto that to customize the front cover. Here are some watercolor attempts. And some very old drawings of childhood pets. And my skills for coloring in pieces, wow, I sucked, I swear. I'm still not the best at it, but you can see a lot of improvement from just watching these. I also drew a lot of crying people when I was a teenager. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I felt angsty. And here's a dragon. I used a reference for it from a coloring book, I think. And some of these are just doodles from notebooks that I used for school. I just cut them out. And here's the craft paper, and I didn't really draw a lot on it. I used this kind of collage style for the first few pages, and other than that, I just stuck in more pieces. Oh, I made this gouache piece on this paper. I really like how this one turned out, in my opinion. Still one of my favorite gouache pieces. And here I just decided to do some hand lettering. I didn't really know what to do with this kind of paper because it's not really suitable for drawing on it. So I decided to just make some notes here and inspiration. I did do some drawings, and then I went back to stucking in older drawings that I made as a child and I made as a teenager, just to fill it up a bit. I still can't believe I got a 7.5 out of 10 as a grade for the left page. I mean, in school. And here, again with the crying, I don't know. And just the swatch page, and onto the tan paper. I really like how this one turned out. This is the first time probably I drew Ace as a whole. And this is my version of Meet the Artist. And I actually really like drawing on tan paper because you can also really use highlights. Oh, another self-portrait again. You can really use highlights and not just create shadows, but it's just so cool to work with, in my opinion. I really like it, so I had a lot of fun drawing on this kind of paper. And the piece on the right is when I was really sad and I needed to just let it all out, so there you go. And what I also really like about this kind of paper is that when you use white, it really stands out from the paper, and I really love how that looks. So I think it just looks very cool. I used some washi tape, holographic washi tape for that piece. And I really messed up this piece at the end, so let's not talk about that. And here's the sketch for my next, my current sketchbook that I'm using. And this one I redid from my last sketchbook. And I really like how this one turned out. It's just very cute and simple. I made this one for V's birthday, I think. And I really liked using my silver and gold paint. Okay, you guys, who were it better, the cats or Jin? And here I lost interest in the sketchbook basically, and I decided to just leave the few pages empty at the end. I hope you liked this video. Stay hydrated, stay tuned, and on to my next video. Bye!